Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel NonFictionSummary. Today we are going to have a look at the bestseller The Lazy Genius Way. Enjoy the video. Being a perfectionist is draining and isolating, but there is an alternative, which is called being a lazy genius. Adachi, the author, began focusing on what truly mattered to her rather than rushing around trying to get everything perfect. A perfect home wasn't really that important. Having a location where people could connect with one another was important. She felt it was a waste of time to spend a lot of time weeding her garden. However, she found great joy in spending hours in the kitchen baking pies. She evolved into her own compass and came up with a variety of tactics to enable her to pursue her passions in an imperfect way, which are explained in this video. Real transformation takes place gradually. It stands to reason that if something isn't worth doing perfectly, it isn't worth doing at all. Actually, though, no. You can value progress for its own sake as a lazy genius. If you love something, it's better to do it poorly than not at all, and some improvement is better than none. For lazy geniuses, taking small steps to change is a crucial tool. All of the strategies we'll cover in the paragraphs that follow will only be effective if they are implemented very gradually. Don't try to implement every technique or make every change in your life at once. Instead, pick just one aspect of your daily schedule and make a small adjustment to it. Once that becomes second nature, you can switch to a different tactic. Real change doesn't appear drastic, but the outcomes are. You are permanently altering your life by keeping the stakes low and moving slowly. Making fixed decisions can bring calm and focus. For instance, choosing in advance a regular rotation of dinners that you cook throughout the week can simplify meal preparation. Instead of making frequent impromptu trips to the grocery store, pick a day to do a big shop at a store you are familiar with. Your brain will feel much calmer if you make these kinds of decisions in advance because you won't have to think and plan as much. You can schedule when you'll complete particular tasks as well as develop a thorough plan for how to do so. We've mainly talked about chores up to this point, but you can also use these concepts for special occasions. For instance, you can decide which gifts you want to buy for everyone at once rather than fretting about what to get friends for their birthdays throughout the year. These strategies may seem like they take the spontaneity and fun out of everything, but because they let you concentrate on unwinding with the people you care about, they can actually make festive occasions more enjoyable. You can diffuse stressful situations with a little planning. The amount of stress we experience on a daily basis can be significantly decreased with a little bit of planning here and there. For instance, you could pack your lunch the night before if you have trouble leaving the house and arriving at work on time. Or, to ensure that you never lose your keys or credit cards, place them in a designated basket close to the door. Establishing some routines is another excellent way to get ready for pressure points throughout the day. You'll be better able to accomplish the goals you truly value if you do this. For instance, if having a calm start to the day is important to you, you could establish a routine of standing up early and having a quiet cup of coffee. The power of routine can also be used to our advantage in our professional lives. Consider asking yourself this question as you begin your workday. What kind of mindset and energy do I want to have as I begin? Depending on your response, you can establish routines like taking a walk around the block to clear your head or turning on a spirited song to boost your spirits. Remember that routines should be flexible and not rigid throughout. They can adjust to meet your needs. Your days can change by making small adjustments to make life simpler later and establishing useful routines. They are arranged like dominoes to start a powerful chain reaction. Introducing a few simple rules can transform your home. You need to make sure that everything has a place if you want to effectively combat clutter. There are only so many rooms in your house. If you have too much stuff, it will eventually overflow from every closet and drawer, leaving you feeling weighed down by clutter. You don't have to give away everything you own and adopt a minimalist lifestyle to feel better, but you will feel better if you make room in your life for the things that are most important to you. Keeping your most prized possessions on display is a good rule of thumb. For instance, if you enjoy reading, make the most of your collection by putting it on the largest bookshelf you can find. Make sure your spice shelf has enough room if you enjoy using spices in your cooking. Everything will be simpler to locate and use when it has enough room in a designated home. A concerted effort should be made to get rid of the things you don't use or value. On the other hand, broken toys, unworn clothing, and footwear only serve to obstruct the path. On your kitchen counter, odds and ends can attract clutter. You'll notice that your environment starts to feel more practical and welcoming once you start to make deliberate decisions about what you want to keep in your space. Due to the fact that you aren't constantly fighting against clutter, it will turn into a place where you feel freer to interact with your family or housemates. In order to discover what's important to you, you'll need to take some time out. It might be necessary for you to take some time to learn to listen to yourself if you feel aimless and purposeless. You'll need to do this by learning to trust your intuition and gut instincts, possibly for the first time. You must carve out time for self-care and rest in order to accomplish that. Simply put, it is acting in a way that makes you feel most like yourself. What gives you a sense of vitality, self-assurance, spark, and self-awareness? Is it running? Reading? The key, as with all lazy genius tactics, is to begin modestly. Instead of setting lofty goals for lavish spa getaways and silent retreats that will never come to pass, look for minute windows of time that you can carve out right now. You can check in with yourself for 15 minutes even on your busiest days. You could schedule a half hour of exercise each week, and once every few months, you could schedule an entire day for yourself. You'll be able to recognize and name your desires and values once you've developed your intuition. Additionally, you'll learn what prevents you from concentrating on those things. What sort of mental agitation do you need to eliminate? We can't escape difficult situations, but we can change how we respond to them. Of course, it's easier said than done. It's only natural to want to run away from unpleasant emotions, but this is simply impossible in many circumstances. Even though grieving is excruciatingly painful, you cannot stop doing so when a parent dies. What can you then do? No matter the season, you can show up for your life and learn from what it has to teach you. Being present is a brave act that will prevent you from giving up and enable you to develop. Accepting your current situation is different from giving up. On the contrary, you'll find that it makes it simpler for you to take action. You'll develop an awareness of just doing the next right thing, whatever that may be, as opposed to getting caught up in future-centered predictions that are filled with doom. Nothing lasts a lifetime. Your individual situation will change, and if you've remained active in the world, you'll see that changes have also occurred within you. You'll learn that you can overcome challenges and come out stronger than before. We need to become our own best friends, and then allow other people in. You'll start to make room for other people in your life once you start accepting who you are. Whether you know it or not, there are probably people who want to help you all around you. But if you continue to act perfect, they won't be able to contact you. When you are vulnerable with others and let them meet you where you are, true connection is possible. The wonderful thing is that vulnerability spreads easily. With your friends, you can let your guard down and give them permission to do the same with you. It's important to discuss problems and stresses with friends, but including them in your celebrations is just as crucial. Celebrate all of your accomplishments, big and small. Celebrate the birthday of the dog that belongs to someone. Enjoy the fall season and the stunning red and yellow colors of the leaves. Honor the fact that you are alive, imperfectly and wonderfully, and that you are able to spend another day with your loved ones. Thanks for watching the video. When you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. See you next time.